Now at 10, a proposed natural gas pipeline project that could reshape energy infrastructure across parts of New England is facing growing pushback in Cromwell. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden. Tonight, neighbors and environmental groups raised concerns about the proposal. Fox 61's Kay Pattyfoot talked to people tonight about why they oppose the project.
Wildlife, health concerns, and potential blasting impacts are just a few concerns that were raised Monday night. Now, these all stem from the potential of an extension of a gas pipeline right here in Cromwell. Supporters of this project say the expansion will strengthen the region's energy supply, but opponents say it's not worth the risk. Those competing viewpoints were front and center Monday night as people in Cromwell gathered to discuss a proposed pipeline expansion.
And there's a compressor station located in Cromwell that's on that pipeline. It's releasing methane gas and other toxic chemicals that are polluting the air and harming people's health. And so we wanted to make sure people know that that's there, but also that they know that there are multiple proposed expansions.
The proposed pipeline enhancement project from Enbridge Algonquin Gas Transmission, or AGT, would upgrade existing infrastructure to increase natural gas capacity and improve energy reliability across the Northeast. Town leaders have also voiced concerns. Mayor James Demetriadis says the expansion could have environmental impacts. In a social media post Sunday, the mayor said he and the deputy mayor raised concerns last year about potential pipeline leaks and the risk they could pose. Members of the nonprofit environmental organization Sierra Club echoed those concerns Monday night and said people should pay close attention to the possibility of leaks and other air quality issues.
It's about people's air, it's about people's health, and this compressor station is located very close to a couple of schools that are in the town, and so it's not just about our health, but also about our children's health.
The project would still need regulatory approvals before moving forward, and Enbridge says construction would not begin until 2028 if approved. But people made it very clear Monday night that they are against this. In Cromwell, Kay Pattyfoot, Fox 61.
It was a soggy start to the day at Rocky Neck State Park, where flooding temporarily shut down the beach. Fox 61's Valerie Moravi talked to people who made the most of the rainy weather.
Well, Rocky Neck State Park was closed for a few hours after heavy rain flooded several parts of the beach and surrounding areas. But as soon as conditions improved, families quickly returned to make the most of what's left of summer. Monday's heavy rain left some campgrounds underwater and sent families scrambling to change their plans.
We're going to have to try to do some card games. Keep the kids busy, something like that.
In this video shared by a camper who did not want to be on camera, say they woke up to the campsite completely submerged in water. They say they had to sleep on the ground because the water damaged their air mattress pump. The rain also flooded parts of the beach and other camping sites, forcing park officials to close the state park for a few hours. As the rain passed, visitors like Tashani Henry of East Granby had plans on staying at the park for a week. She says she won't let the rain stop her from enjoying the day.
Definitely rained on my parade a little bit. I was hoping to get tan, but that's okay. I'll figure out how to get tan again tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow's better.
She and her family had a pretty clear idea on what the backup plan would be.
My plan here is to take inspiration from nature. The start is kind of like a starry night. I'm planning to go. I might do some paint our campgrounds. I don't know yet. I have to see what the nature inspires me to do. Now, as the floodwaters receded, the park reopened and visitors continued to arrive throughout the afternoon. In East Lyme, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.
Yeah, so tomorrow is going to be a better beach day than today was,
yes,
for sure.
better.
I wouldn't plan like a week at the beach. That's probably not a good thing, but tomorrow.
We get tomorrow, that's for sure. Yeah. And it looks like we'll also see lower humidity. Overall, it's one of my favorite days of the week. Check it out. The humidity's already starting to drop a little bit out there. Earlier today, it felt tropical. And by daybreak tomorrow, it will be downright refreshing with overnight lows in the 50s to right around 60 degrees. But first, we got through all of this rain. Some of the heaviest rain that we had out there was during the morning commute. Definitely slowed people down. And while most of the state ended up picking up about an inch or two of rain, there were some higher amounts, up to about a month's worth of rain or even more for areas like Bantam and Windsor Locks. Again, these are some of the top rainfall totals not representative of everyone, but I wanted to show you some of the bigger numbers that parts of the state received. Tomorrow, sunshine, low humidity, mid-80s for a high temperature in Naugatuck and Wallingford, low 80s in Guilford tomorrow, right around the 80-degree mark in Mystic and Stonington, and mid-80s in Norwich. It does look like we stay dry into Wednesday as well, but we will see more cloud cover. And then the humidity comes roaring back in here, as well as a rising chance for showers and storms later this week, and that could last into the weekend. Your full forecast is coming up, Brent.
Cast their ballot ahead of Connecticut's primary election, which is next week. Fox 61's Kayla Cade talked with some voters about why they decided to get a head start and what the first day at the polls was like.
Despite the rain, some voters came out to cast their ballot here at Cromwell Town Hall for the first day of early voting.
It was easier just to kind of get it done and over with sooner rather than later.
Voting booths were set up on the second floor of Cromwell Town Hall to help people make their voices heard.
Your freedom of speech is your freedom and your right to elect people who, represent your interests and represent your community's interests.
Brendan Crew decided to vote early on Monday.
I just didn't want to have to come and deal with, the line and everything else on the 11th.
Alice Kelly, Democratic Registrar of Voters in Cromwell, says voter turnout for the first day of early voting was slow, but it was expected.
We're glad that people have come out, even in the pouring rain, and so it shows an interest.
She plans on voting in this year's primary election. And with voting, she remembers the message her parents, who were Irish immigrants, gave her.
You should be proud that you were born in America because America gives you rights that a lot of other countries do not. And just remember that. And not everybody has the right to vote.
Kelly and Crew encourages you to go out and cast your vote.
So women, get up and start showing that you are really able to do everything that a man always had the right to do.
I think it is, the epitome of doing your civic duty.
You'll be able to vote early through Sunday. On Tuesday and Thursday, voting hours run from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. All other days will run from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. In Cromwell, Kayla Cade, Fox 61.
And one of the major races on the ballot is the state Senate race for Connecticut's 2nd District, which includes parts of Hartford, Bloomfield, and Windsor. The candidates took part in a forum hosted by the Greater Hartford African American Alliance. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules spoke with them about their priorities and what they hope to accomplish in office.
The three candidates vying for the Democratic nomination in the 2nd Senate District say they want voters to consider what issues they value the most and which candidate will fight for a solution to those issues. Incumbent State Senator Douglas McCory, State Representative Miriam Khan, and Windsor Education President Ayanna Taylor all took the stage at the debate to discuss the topics most important to them and their campaigns. McCory addressed concerns about how he allocated public funds to nonprofits and businesses in the North End, something the FBI has been looking into. He said despite that investigation, the people he's spoken with are focused on issues like healthcare and education.
I've been out knocking on doors, maybe over 8,000 doors. And not one person asked me one question about Blue Hills or anything that's going on with me in regards to that.
One thing McCory doesn't have in this race, the backing of the state Democratic Party. That backing went to Representative Miriam Khan, who said it's time for a change.
I think it's shown that the district and the party is ready for a change, and that the change also needs to be bold and ready to take on what is needed.
McCory said he's still confident in his campaign, even though he lost the party's support.
My reputation speaks for itself. So I don't think it has any impact on how they perceive me, because they look at my work and they look at how I have delivered even before I was elected official.
Khan says if she's elected as state senate, she's hoping to make much needed changes to public school systems.
Mostly being properly funding our public schools, making sure the resources are there, and then looking at the structural problems that were created over the years.
Ayanna Taylor said her experience as the president of Windsor's Board of Education has set her up for success at the Capitol.
That has prepared me in large part for this role, because if you don't know how municipalities work, how will you ever be ready for the state legislature?
She said being an advocate for children and families and having deep ties to the community makes her the better candidate over her competitors.
If they want someone tried, true, and trusted, that's Ayanna Taylor.
Early voting is underway ahead of primary day next Tuesday, August 11th. In Hartford, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Well, right now in Meriden, state police are investigating a serious crash on I-691 West near exit 3. The right and center lanes are blocked between exits 2B and 3. Drivers should expect delays and consider an alternate route. And a person was hit by a car and seriously hurt in East Hartford today. Police said it happened on Main Street near West Brewer Street. The road was closed for the investigation but has since reopened. And fire damaged a number of businesses in a Newtown strip mall yesterday. It happened just after 8:30 in the morning on South Main Street. Firefighters quickly put out the fire and prevented it from spreading further. The strip mall is home to businesses like J.J. Stack's Restaurant, Blue Nail Spa, and more. Right now it's unclear how the fire started or how long some of those businesses will remain closed. More medical experts testified today in the murder trial of Lindsay Clancy. She's the Connecticut native accused of killing her 3 children. An emergency room doctor told the court that Clancy's youngest child arrived without a heartbeat and was, quote, cold on arrival.
We had heard that, all 3 were in cardiac arrest, and the core in particular, they were still working on doing CPR and doing what we call pediatric advanced life support, so medications to try and restart the heart.
Prosecutors say Clancy strangled her children in January of 2023. Clancy's lawyers don't dispute that she killed the kids, but say she had bipolar disorder that was not fully diagnosed.